Hi everyone and welcome to our first video of 2021. In this video we finally start putting this bus back together again. Now before we crack on with the main job of recovering the side walls, I've got some attention that needs to be done here on the front bulkhead here on the upper deck first. If you watched the last video, you'll know we completely stripped and rebuilt the blind box cover. That's going to go back on today, so fingers crossed it's going to fit. Before we do that though, this area here on the shelving below the front windows, that needs a bit of attention first. Now fortunately there's not a lot of wood on a Routemaster bus. There is, however, a strip of wood here that runs across the front of the bus underneath the windows. Now it's quite a shaped piece of wood and I would like to replace it, but with my woodworking skills that's going to be almost an impossible job. So what I've done is I've repaired the wood that's in situ. Alright, it's been on this bus since it was built, so it might as well last a little bit longer. It's not in that bad condition. I filled some of the holes and I filled some of the rot. I've also covered the wood now with some wood preserver. So what I'm going to do now is paint it and undercoat it so it lasts for many more years. Job done. Okay, now the paint's had time to dry, it's time to start rebuilding the front end of this bus. And I'm going to start by doing the corners. We're going to re-rexing with some new rexing that I've just cut. And this is the original stuff, so it's going to smell great. There's only one chance to get this right. Now we don't worry about the gaps at the sides and the bottom because we've got some plates that's going to go over it. Right, we're going to let that glue dry for a couple of minutes before we put the rivets in. Right, now the rexing's done in the corner, the next bit is to replace some of the panels that I took off on the shelving at the top. First piece to go on are these corner bits. Now, I've had to respray these because they were covered in a material that is nicknamed table tennis bat material. And it's called that because, yeah, you guessed it, it looks like it's covered with material very similar to what you cover a table tennis bat with. Now, unfortunately, I don't know anybody that knows where you can get this material from anymore. We think it's no longer available. So I've had to repaint it, which is a bit of a shame, but it's the best I can do. Now some more of the grey trim to go back in here. You have to be so careful with this stuff, it's so brittle and it's not available anymore, so I don't want to break it. And some nice repainted grills to go over the heater vents. And some nice slot head screws. Now the big one across the middle. Well, it's starting to come back together quite nicely now, I'm well pleased. 1 or 2 screws still to put in, but I haven't got the right size head, so they're going to need to be ordered. Got some trim to put in down the bottom, and then we are ready for the big one, the blind box. Will it go back on? We'll find out soon. Well, the time has finally come. I can't delay anymore. It's time to put this bad boy back on the bus again. Now, if you missed the last episode, this is the blind box that goes at the front of the bus here on the upper deck. And the reason why I had to take it off the bus was because the wood was completely rotten, so it needed replacing. And that's what we've been working on in the last episode. We had to take all the mechanism and all the wiring and all the bulb holders off the rotten piece of wood and put them on this new piece of wood. Now the big question is, have we lined everything up correctly? We're about to find out. Let's put this new blind box back on the bus. A little bit of a problem, but it's not a disaster. This top plate here is hanging over the edge a little bit too far and is stopping the blind box from opening. So just making some adjustments. Well, I've undone all the screws just to try and move this top plate. It needs to go up by about 1 millimetre. There's one rivet that I put in the other day and I'm going to have to draw that out. And I'm just hoping that when I do draw this rivet out, I don't slip with the drill and scratch all my new paintwork. Could be a disaster, this. Well, that's good news. Disaster has been averted. It now opens and closes. The problem is the wood underneath the metalwork. You may remember in the last video, it was pretty rotten, so I think it's just kind of collapsed a little bit, and that's allowed that lid to come over a little bit too far, and it was just catching here in the corner. But I've now undone everything, moved it around a little bit, and I've been able to get it back done up again with just enough clearance. So yeah, pleased with that. Now we can continue. Let's put some bulbs in and let's reconnect the electrics and see if they work. Well, that's it, the job is done, and overall I'm really pleased. I'm delighted with the way the blind box went back on the bus and everything lined up exactly as it should. One or two things that I'm not particularly happy about, and that is, first of all, you can still see the white primer and undercoat from the wood underneath the shelving, so that needs sorting out. That's going to need a bit of paint to hide the white. And I'm still waiting for these screws to come in from the supplier as well. But on the whole, really pleased. It now means we can crack on with the rest of the bus. Going to get the rest of the sidewalls done, and then we can get on with putting this bus back together and getting it back out on the road. Well, I'm afraid I think I may have spoken a little bit too soon there. Everything you've seen in the video so far was recorded between Christmas and New Year 2020. And here we are in January 2021, and the UK has gone back into another coronavirus lockdown. So that means, unfortunately, work has ground to a halt on RM1214. What you should be watching now is a video of us putting that Wrexham on the bus. We had it all planned. A friend of mine was coming up from London to help us with the job. He'd done it before and was going to guide us through the process. But unfortunately, because of travel restrictions, he can't travel from his home in London up here to North Wales to help us with the project. And of course, even if we could do that, we couldn't socially distance inside the bus. So unfortunately, work has been put on hold on RM1214 for now. So that means this video is a bit shorter than what I like to normally put out. But what I thought I'd do is I'll put this video out anyway to show you where we got to before lockdown hit us. Now, I have been spending the last couple of weeks in lockdown here at home, going through tons and tons of video footage that we've recorded over the last 12 to 18 months. Projects that we've done on 1214 that you've not seen yet, and indeed projects that we've done on all of our other buses as well. So there's a lot of footage that I've got that I could be putting out, and that's what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. For as long as lockdown continues, my aim is to continue uploading regular videos to YouTube of footage of bits and pieces that we've done throughout the last 12 to 18 months. So look out for more videos from us coming very, very soon. And of course, as soon as lockdown is lifted, we'll be back on to 1214 as soon as we can. So thanks again for watching. Please give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. It's probably not as enjoyable as some of the other videos, but give us a thumbs up anyway. And if you haven't done so already, hit subscribe. From me and the team, thanks again for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. The job is just about done, and I'm really pleased with the way... Excuse me. Sorry, did that offend you? Why are you staring at me? I only coughed. I ain't got corona, don't worry about it. Can you look away now? Thank you. Well, there you have it. The job is just about done, and I'm really pleased with the way that the blind box went back together again. Everything lined up exactly as it should. See you later. Take that again. Just finish. Wait for her to finish trotting down the stairs. Are you going to stay there, or are you going down the stairs? Are you going to stay there staring at me again, are you? Okay. Well, there you have it. The job is done, and I'm really pleased with the way that the blind box went back together again.